Traders, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're talking about a low profile with high return possibility crypto. It's not SAFEMOON, it's not Doge, and it's not Shiba Inu. It's no cap coin, no pun intended. Now, there is a lot of potential behind this play, and I do love the basis on which the crypto is founded upon, basically donating a lot of the money to charity as well, which is something that I really love here on the channel. And that's kind of the project that I wanted to be focusing on and maybe even investing a lot of my money into as well. So let's break down this team. Let's break down the speculation, because with crypto comes a lot of speculation. So you need to understand that before you start plummeting and dumping money into these positions. You need to understand that this is not financial advice. I'm just going to be breaking down a crypto with their team, the speculation, the risk associated with it, and why I believe they are taking care of most of these concerns for you already. So let's not waste any more time. Like, subscribe, do what you got to do. Let's get to it. All right, so before we hop into everything, the links will be down below if you're interested in checking them out further. I recommend that you fact check everything I'm saying, so you know I'm not just full of BS. I try to provide as transparent as possible content, so let's get to it. So the first thing I want to explain what's cool about the crypto is they explain exactly how to buy it, so there's no confusion there, explaining the whole process through PancakeSwap and stuff like that. And it is listed on PancakeSwap. They're not listed on any exchanges just quite yet. They are very new. They just launched May 10th. And, you know, all things considered, they're sitting at about break even at this point, which is saying something compared to a lot of the competitors. You're seeing all these cryptos go public via PancakeSwap, and they're taking a massive hit off the gate. All things considered, like I said, it's sitting exactly about where they opened up. So as we go down, let's just look at who they are, what they're doing. So the first thing we're going to go over is the fair launch. This is going to be something that's pretty big and shows you the transparency of the company and kind of where their motives are. So we're going to get into how the company actually locked up most of their funds, but they actually installed a whale program so you can't pump and dump it, especially in the beginning process of when it was listed on PancakeSwap. Something like Refinable, something we covered here on the channel. Now that ended up pumping all the way to $15 and dumping back down to $2 when they're supposedly supposed to open at 3 cents. You can see how this got really sketchy. Now, did this coin get somewhat of a pump? Yes, but was it as comparable to the others? No. And the pump was quite delayed when you think about everything. So everyone actually had an opportunity to be a part of that if you held for longer than like 2 days. So let's keep going. Liquidity, we're going to get to that here in a second. They've already agreed to lock up 100% of the liquidity for 6 months, and we'll explain it here in a second, and I will provide proof on that because I had questions regarding that as well. Community driven part is most likely my favorite aspect of the coin. So what they're doing is in their Discord and through all their communities, they're going to have voting platforms, and I essentially think they would put this onto their website eventually, so it'll just be a public vote that you can see as it's progressing to where it's going to. But majority of these funds that are locked up will be donated as well to charities of the community's choice, which is huge, and it's very engaging for you and me as we buy into the crypto as well, which is something, like I said, that I'm super excited about on the channel as well. So I don't see myself not making more videos about these guys based solely on that. That's the biggest aspect for me. There's not a lot of cryptos that are focused solely on, you know, giving back and charities. So I think that's a huge point here that I really do like. So we can go to the tokenomics, and this is where things get confusing if you're not familiar with crypto. And I do assume most people that are watching the video are not really too interested in the tokenomics. Now, I'm going to explain it as best of my ability and as simple to you as well, but this is worth noting. As we can see with them, they do have a specific amount they came out with, and then they burned it 50% straight off the top. So it does look they're trying to get the workaround here as well. And then we go over to transactions, and this is a pretty big part as well. And this is something that you're seeing with the new trend with all of these cryptos as well. So I do like that they implemented this. So when you sell your no cap, there will be a 10% sell penalty. So it kind of incentivizes holders to hold out for the longer haul. 5% will go to the liquidity pool and locked for that 6 months, and then the other 5% will be redistributed to holders. So if you're holding any no cap, there will be a turnover coming back into your account every single time as someone sells. So this is beneficial as well. It's also worth mentioning that number will probably be substantial because the coin is so cheap right now. As it increases, obviously the numbers distributed would be less. The team also planned this out pretty well. They designated 5% of the total supply just for marketing and the campaign growth of the crypto. That's a big part of why you're seeing a lot of these cryptos blow up, i.e. SAFEMOON and Shiba Inu. They're absolutely rocketing because they have the marketing behind them. We're seeing the overall trend of crypto be, if people hear about it, they buy it. If they buy it, it skyrockets. That's literally what's happening. So if they do a good enough job on the marketing end, this could actually start to blow up, and this could really start to double, triple, 5x your money, maybe even more. We'll see what happens. We'll go over the chart here in a second because it's absolutely dirt cheap. So we're going to go over the roadmap really quick. Now, with the roadmap, it's worth mentioning this is a very short-term roadmap, so they're editing it and adding new things to it constantly, which is something I do like. Typically, with something like SAFEMOON, you saw basically 4 levels for the 4 quarters, which is a pretty basic thing to do as a company. But how they're doing it is they're kind of doing it by the monthly going into summer, and then they're actually having more stuff planned after that, which is something that's pretty cool because they're really direct with the community. I've been in the Discord for a little bit as well, just kind of monitoring what's going on there, and it looks pretty good, and I like how direct they are with their clientele as well. So as we go down early stages, this is everything that's already been done, the white paper that's all out there. This will all be in the link below as well, up to their website. The launch, this is what happened in May. Like I said, they launched very quickly. So they got listed to CoinGecko and CoinMarketCap all within a month in a very short period of time. We're going to go over that here in a second, but I do want you guys to know that. And then they're creating more, I guess, incentivizers with the community. And that's really what they're building here, is more of a community rather than a type of currency to change and buy things with. You're getting something that's going to hold value not only, and then also on the charity aspect, which I believe is the big part of the coin in my opinion. So I do want that to be known. And then going into the next month, this is going to be future coming, initial listing talks and funding. I do see them wanting to get listed on some type of exchange. That's going to be big. They've already got added to CoinGecko, which is good to know for June. So that's already done, already off the table. Social media influencers trying to get more names out there. More names hearing about this means more growth, which means more money in your pocket if you bought in. So in June, their goal was to get listed on CoinGecko, but they're already listed on there, and it's basically the beginning of May. So this is important to know that they're already steps ahead of where they want to be. So I do see the listing being very big. And once they get listed on those exchanges, you can expect massive growth and a really nice pump on the coin. Now, I'm not a pumper or a dumper when it comes to the coin or any type of crypto or anything like that. But if you're in it for the short term, for the quick money, that's going to be the play, because once it gets onto those exchanges, it's going to absolutely start to blow up. Look at what happened to SafeMoon. Look what happened to all these other cryptos to once they made that step from getting on PancakeSwap to an actual exchange, things absolutely go crazy. So keep that in the back of your minds, and that should really be the focal point from a monetary standpoint here. That's going to be the end of the roadmap as well, but they do say they're going to be updating this constantly, and you can see this is on a month-to-month basis, which is something that I do really like when it comes to the company and the crypto as well, because you're seeing that they're not only just having, stagnated expectations or growth, it's monthly growth and monthly new expectations and stuff driven specifically by the community, which is something that I do love here. And then we're going to get back into why I believe this is one of the safer plays out there. All right, so I'm going to show you how the liquidity works and how you can check to see if it is a lockdown. This is a big part when it comes to any crypto, because this is going to tell you, is it a safe play and is it a pump and dump? So if you come over here to the top, go to links, and you're going to go to liquidity, that will lock right there. And it'll show up at this page, and this is what will happen. It'll actually show the time left and how many days are left until the liquidity closes and when it's open up to where they can start selling some of those funds. Now, it's worth mentioning they won't actually sell those funds all at once, and they did mention a lot of this liquidity will be stored up and saved for more marketing expenses as well. So keep that in the back of your mind. And then you can also see ownership was renounced on the coin by also clicking the link right there. Full transparency on the website. Another thing I do really love, going back down to BSC scan, showing all the information there. This is all checkable on their website. I recommend checking it out. The next thing I'm going to do is go over to CoinGecko and check this out. You can just see it is listed. I just wanted to verify and show everyone that that is listed as well. There's not too much. I'd rather use CoinMarketCap, to be honest, than using CoinGecko, but it's worth mentioning that it is there. A lot of cryptos haven't made it that far, and in a 1 month period of time of being listed, they're there. That's a pretty big statement. That's pretty big for them. Going over to CoinMarketCap as well, you can see they're ranked number 5,000, something in that range. That's okay. It's on quite a few watch lists, actually 2,800. That's not bad for being so new as well, and for being very underneath the radar. Like I said, they are down a little bit back to about that break-even point. If you got in on day one immediately, they're back at break-even. So all things considered, that's another good point as well. And on CoinMarketCap, just so you know, they were listed to CoinGecko within a month. But when it comes to CoinMarketCap, they were listed within 24 hours. Now, I don't know if you know how difficult that is to do. It's pretty difficult to do when you're a new startup crypto and you're not that big or have that much hype behind you. I need to put emphasis on that because it shows the that strength behind the team behind this project. That's one of the exciting parts as well. So I would focus on that and just know that they are pretty headstrong when it comes to achieving what they're trying to achieve on that roadmap. That's a pretty big focal point. Within 24 hours, they were listed on CoinMarketCap. That's worth noting as well. Before we go out, there is a quick little review of the team and just everyone you can meet on there. Now, that's not their personal information or anything like that, but once you get into their Discord, this just shows you exactly who they are, and you can actually talk specifically with them as well. I've already tested this out. I've already DM'd most of them as well. They were pretty quick to answer, so if you have questions, I do recommend going to the community manager. Strictly and Final are the big ones that I know personally and kind of got to know over the past week or so, but those are the ones that I would check out, and then the devs as well. You can ask any of them any questions. They're very open, pretty cool people as well, so I recommend going there. And then going over some key questions. This is actually, these are probably the most popular questions that there is. Going over why they started the company, the liquidity locked. If you don't understand that, the liquidity pool will be locked 100% momentarily after launch for 6 months to begin. As time goes on, extended locking periods will remain. Shortly after launch, the contract ownership will be renounced as well, which is already all done. They've gone over the marketing, charity, and community funds as well, which we covered. A large portion of that liquidity will go there as well. They go on to kind of attack the question that everyone has, like, what's the difference between no cap and then these other meme coins, right? One thing that they are doing is agreeing to have their whole liquidity locked essentially for 6 months and then extending that over time, allowing some of them to come out to spend for more expenses, for more growth as planned. I think 6 months might be a little bit long of a period, but it just shows kind of their dedication and what they think the runway is. I mean, I'm not in charge of that financials. I don't know. That's a little bit long, but it is for themselves. And then the doxing. This is a pretty big part for people to know when they want to get into cryptos. So they haven't doxed themselves. That's worth noting. But they've kind of stated, and I have talked to them as well, that they don't feel the need to right now because they're not that large. Now, I can see how that would be a worry. And this kind of, if you don't know what doxing is, it's basically just verifying who you are and just giving more security behind investors, if that makes sense. It's the simplest way I can explain it. So going into that, they explain that they will do that if they start to see some substantial growth, because that will be a priority. But right now, they just haven't done it. But if it continues to see growth, which it has seen some massive growth compared to their Discord and stuff like that, it most likely will continue, and they will do this. I've kind of explained most of these questions throughout the video as well, but they go in to explain how they prevent pump and dumps happening. They have the whale trigger in there as well, so you can't buy too much or pump it and dump it at the same time. However, once it gets to exchanges, I see that being a problem, but that will be on the exchanges end and not on their end, so that really isn't a concern for the company, in my opinion. So no cap coin. What is my opinion on it? Where do I view it? How much do I own? Am I buying any? Personally, I'll probably be buying about $400 or $500 worth. I'm not going to lie, here in the next week or so. I'm just kind of waiting to see what happens with Bitcoin and the price of it, because if you look at the chart and what's going on there, it saw a massive plummet after Elon Musk made his comments on Bitcoin, and that's kind of how the whole crypto market has moved. So I don't think it was a dump based on the value of the coin. I think it was a dump based on Elon Musk saying comments based on crypto, and that's just what happens sometimes. With crypto, it's a lot of speculation, things happen. However, I don't own any right now. I want to make that abundantly clear. However, I am looking to add some. But when you come into crypto, in my opinion, the expectation shouldn't be immediate money. You're kind of there holding it to double, triple, whatever your money may be. It's pretty speculative trading when it comes to that. However, I do see promise in the team. I like the team. I like the basis behind a charity aspect coin as well. That's pretty cool, and I do love that. And I love that the community is the center of that charity as well, as they get to decide who it goes to and things like that. That's pretty exciting. I see myself most likely making more videos on these guys, as I am excited for what's going to be happening in the next few weeks and months. If they've already been accepted on CoinGecko, if they've already been listed on CoinMarketCap, I don't see them stop growing anytime soon. I see this growing exponentially over the next few weeks and months as well. Pretty exciting to be looking at. Could be a really big early coin, all things considered. However, there's a lot of risk associated with it, so take that into account. So have a good one, traders. Like and subscribe and do what you gotta do. Namaste.
Check. The grooves in my mouth, double